Can we fucking talk for a second about the blatant dishonesty and stupidity of games journalism for a second? And I use the word journalism very loosely because this isn't some guy that moved to Manhattan and went to a good college and got a degree for journalism and fucking dedicated his whole life to being a can-do guy and a good reporter and somebody who, it's like, dude, these are just losers that bait people online. I feel like some of them, when you go to who wrote it, and you go to the section, it's always some fucking loser. And what I don't understand though is the level of dishonesty. And it's like they can just say anything they want. And I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Freedom of speech or whatever, but this is still the internet. And I get it. It's like whatever, right? Like you can post from anywhere in the world. But I think at a certain level that people just say dumb shit. And I honestly think on some cases, I don't think they're baiting. I think they honestly believe what they're writing and they just don't understand shit. It's like when you see like an old news anchor or something and they're like telling you something like all the you just got to buckle down and you can afford a house or whatever. When you see these like older people who just cannot grasp certain things, that's what it feels like reading some of this stuff. It's like some senile fucking loser is coming up with this content. Now it says Valve's newest game, Deadlock, has lost over 90% of its player base since it was revealed. 3 major updates have come out since 2025, but none of them have resulted in a massive player count increase. Okay, am I crazy? Or one, the game's not even out. It had like a public thing that it did for like, what, a weekend or something? I don't even know what it was because this game is so new. And honestly, I played it. I played it for like 10 games. And I gotta tell you, it was rough. It was very rough. But for these guys to sit there and say, it lost 90% of its player base. It's like, dude, Valve hasn't come out with a game in a long fucking time. A long time. In fact, I think most of us have looked at TF2's decomposing corpse and we just think about like Team Fortress was so fun. It was such a fun game. Valve used to make such fun games. I mean, even Gary's mod was, I can't tell you how many hours I spent in that, just essentially just role-playing as a youth. And I just look back on that and I'm just like, damn, I had genuine fun. I remember having fun playing video games. And it honestly hurts because I look at the games we have now and I just think, man, we're never going to feel that again. Now, I've already done a video on this. But man, oh man, these guys that write these articles, Valve haven't done a game in a long time. They decided to take their sweet fucking time, and they're going to release this in like 2027 is the official release date. It's 2025. This game is nowhere near done, by the way. I played it for 10 games, like I said, and it was terrible. Now, before you jump on me and say that I'm a piece of shit, let me just explain. I think personally that third-person MOBAs are a little too niche. I mean, I know that we only have a few of them to pick from. There was like that Paragon, there was Smite and stuff, but they never feel too good. They feel really wonky. And I don't know if it's just because I played Dota and I played Dota, the original Dota, on Warcraft 3. It was like when you go to a custom lobby back then, I'm aging myself here, I know, but when you go to a custom lobby back then on Warcraft 3, there really wasn't much to pick from sometimes. It really was like 20 games of Dota. And if you didn't want to play Dota, there's like a few others you could pick from, or you'd have to host your own and hope that people joined. I mean, back in its heyday, it was a lot more filled up. Like, I'm being dramatic, but it was like a lot of Dota. There was a lot of Dota. There was a ton of Dota going on. And there was ranks, and there was like saved progress and stuff like that. And it was sick. It was sick. But that feels very different from a third-person MOBA. And I'm not saying that a third-person MOBA can't do well. I think that Smite came in at the right time, and I can't fucking stand that game. But they're just different. They're different. But I will say this. The game is invite only, I believe. Still. The game is invite only. And a lot of people love Valve. When it releases, I think a lot of people will try to play it. Now, if a game sucks, it sucks. And Valve hasn't been making games because they really don't have to. They can just keep doing what they're doing and not make a game ever again, and they'll be totally fine. But they decided to step out of the comfort zone, come back, and make a game. But they can take as much time they want with this game and spend as much money as they want on it, and eventually it'll either be good or bad, and we will decide then. But for games journalism, to make these shock and awe posts about, like, losing its player base, we have to stop doing this. Because you know what? The real fact of the matter is this. Fucking games get purchased. Especially single-player games. I don't know why we get articles. We get articles literally every single fucking time about every fucking game, and it's like they just can't comprehend how games work. Who are these non-gamers writing all these articles? Why are they employed? Like, you got the Office pickle stealer, like, where have all the pickles gone? I know this is ridiculous, right? But it feels ridiculous reading it. I feel like I'm reading a toddler complain about dumb shit. Like, they can't even grasp what's going on. I'm just going to walk everyone through it so that we're on the same page. A game comes out. You play it. You stop playing it. That is how games work. Some games you revisit. Maybe I'll play it again later. It's in my library. Maybe it's a single-player game. And it has a limited storyline. And once you've played it, you don't have to play it again. But even with these big online games, it's like when a new game comes out, there's hype surrounding it. You want hype. You want everyone to come in and try it. And then slowly but surely, your population will even out. And then that'll be your player base. And that's what you're left with. Those guys are the ones who are going to stay no matter what. Almost no matter what. Now, in Overwatch's case, Blizzard's just a fucking idiot. They can't accept that they can't. There's something weird with Blizzard. And I think it has a lot to do with that EA bullshit where it's like, or Activision, where they have this mentality of, because Sony Online used to have the same problem. If you put out a game and you want to make a certain amount, that doesn't mean you will. But back then, the thing that Sony Online did is any game that was online only, that had a subscription, usually had a subscription, like the Matrix Online, they pull the plug. They pull the plug when it reaches a certain level because they just assume that it's going to continue to trend that way, or they say, well, we don't just want to keep the lights on. If it didn't do good, let's just pull the plug. You know, things like that. And it's like, dude, because they'll go into maintenance mode. They used to go into maintenance mode where they would start to cut features or updates or whatever. They'd fire people. They'd get it down to just like a number of people, and they would keep it alive for a little bit. But like once it goes to it, they have like a number that once it hits that, it's gone. The game is gone forever in most cases. Star Wars Galaxy was really fun. There's a ton of games that they've done this to. EverQuest Online Adventures was an insanely good game. It just came out at a very poor time, and now anyone who's ever played that game, and I'm talking about anyone, you could talk to anyone who's ever played EverQuest Online Adventures, and you ask them, and you say, hey, did you love this game? And they will say yes. They have no idea why it got rid of. Sony is just stupid. Sony was stupid, and I think Blizzard is the same way about Overwatch. They kind of have this system of where the player base should be. They're pulling the same shit that they've already pulled, that other companies have already pulled, and it's wildly unpopular. You know? And I get it. Companies need to make money, but some of these numbers that you see are just unreasonable. Like, if you put out a game and you're like, well, I'd like to make $2 million a day, and if I don't make $2 million a day, I don't want it. It's easier just to get rid of it. Like, bro, what if you just didn't, though? Like, EverQuest still exists today because people knew how to run it. You can run things, you know, a RuneScape still exists. Okay? And it's like, yeah, some of those have like bigger player bases, but these player bases are supporting the game no matter what. You don't want to get rid of it, okay? So will Deadlock, does this matter? Does this article matter to Deadlock? No. They could keep this game alive infinitely with the money that they make from Steam. Valve does not need to ever put out a game again. It was very nostalgic and nice to enter a game again and get that Valve come up on the screen. It felt so good, but you know, the realistic thing is the game is not out. The game is not finished. It's invite only. It has a 2027 release, and a lot of people are jaded at Valve for completely abandoning us. And before anyone says blah, blah, blah Portal or fucking VR Alex bullshit, please stop. Because you know that they abandon us. You know that it's just Steam. Steam is their cash cow. And if they didn't position themselves around Steam, who knows? I mean, well, they would have kept making good games, right? You know, I was going to say, who knows what could have happened if they didn't have Steam, but let's be honest, they made great games. And I think if they kept making great games, they would continue to make great games because, you know, but, you know, maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. Maybe I have the wrong opinion here because I know some of you are already in the comments. Maybe I have the wrong opinion. Maybe it's great that they copped out because we thought that Blizzard couldn't make a bad game either. And look what they've become. Maybe Valve would have just became them over time. And maybe that's what this is. Maybe that's what Deadlock is, a terrible game. I played it, it felt raw, but let's be honest. Let's be super honest with each other. The game isn't finished. Did I like the game? Nah. Do I like most MOBAs that come out? My bad. Nah, I think most MOBAs are kind of trash. There's very few MOBAs that have come out. I mean, there's League, but it's just because it's a copy of Dota. Dota itself, you know, you could say that they're very playable. There's a good player base. It's got ranked. It's got all the stuff you want. It's got skins. It's got everything you want in a game, but I will say this. Deadlock was rough. It was rough playing it. It was not a good experience. And I'm going to chalk that up to the fact that it was essentially an alpha. I mean, it wasn't even close to, I don't even know that you could call it a beta. I mean, it's a MOBA, so it has less moving parts, right? You go into a match, you play the match, and then it's over. That's the full game. That's the whole game. But these game journalists are just so fucking stupid. Game comes out, it's got a little hype, it's going to lose players. I don't know why they can't understand this concept. Especially with single player games. That's where it shines like a little bright idiots. Little bright, sipping on little idiot juice, running through the forest. Everyone can see you, bro. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to me that we have people who are grown full adults who can't understand the concept of how movies and games work. Can you imagine if we had articles that came out for movies like that? Like, oh, Titanic came out, and while its release was really big, it's lost 80% of its viewership over the last 10 years. Guess it wasn't that good. Can you imagine? Jesus Christ. I gotta take a nap. After this one, guys. Anyway, like, subscribe, do what you do. Look at my other videos. Please, God save me. Subscribe, please. Thank you.